The life you're living, it isn't random. The lessons, the pain, the people, you planned all of it. And if you stick around, I'll tell you why you planned it, why you keep coming back, and most importantly, how to stop reincarnating. First, let's address how you stop reincarnating. You have to find and complete your purpose in life. Let's start with what happens when you get to the end of your life and you haven't completed your purpose. The first thing after you finish your welcome back to the afterlife is you go through your life review. You go through this process with higher power beings. They're not guides, but they're there to show you where you got off track. During your review, they'll stop your life at anywhere where you cause somebody else significant emotional pain. And what makes them higher power beings is they can thrust you back into that life and you remember everything as if it's happening in that moment. You can feel all of your emotions, everything you were feeling. And then once you're connected with yourself, the higher power beings will shift you into the other person's body and let you feel everything that they were feeling. That's what makes them higher powered. At the end of your review, the beings will tell you all of the spots where they stopped your life, that these are problems and that you have to fix these, but they don't tell you what you have to do to fix them. Now you've got the option to move to research and planning, but you don't have to. You're allowed to stay as long as you want, but you choose to reincarnate. You choose to come back, and here's why. When you're dead, you know that there is a purpose to life, and you know that if you can find the purpose to life, that you don't have to reincarnate anymore, and that you're gonna go somewhere that's different than the afterlife. You're gonna go somewhere that's even better, and you're aware of this when you're dead. Now, the afterlife, it doesn't suck. Like, you've heard people, if you've ever listened to near-death experiences, you've heard people say how good it feels. Well, what it feels like when you're dead is what it feels like to help other people because you want to while you're here in this physical plane. The energy that it creates in you and the energy that it creates in them that feeds back to you, it creates this really amazing feeling. It's like one of the best feelings that we can create here in this physical plane is helping other people because we want to. That is what it feels like in the afterlife. But if you can find the purpose to life, you don't even have to reincarnate. You don't have to go there and feel that good feeling. You go somewhere else and you feel an even better feeling. Let's call it nirvana or enlightenment. Once you decide to go to research and planning, there's rules that must be followed, and there's beings that are there that they look like they're guides to us, but they're not guides. They're the rule keepers. They're the ones that make sure that we follow the rules. The first rule is you have to pick the emotions of the next life first. The emotions that you choose to feel are always the emotions that you made other people feel in past lives. For example, if you stole from somebody in a past life and it caused significant emotional pain, then you would choose to feel the same emotional pain. So somebody would steal from you in the upcoming life. And you do this in hopes of offsetting the emotional damage that you've done. And here's why. We think part of the purpose of life is to live a good life. But that idea is so subjective and it leaves us guessing, and there's nobody helping us figure out what the answers are. So we have to make assumptions. Since the higher power beings pointed out all the places that we made other people feel emotional pain, and they told us that we have to fix it, we assume that to fix it, we have to feel the same emotional pain. Now, it's important to note, we don't plan every emotion that we're going to feel. We only plan for the worst ones. After we decide what emotions we're going to feel, we go start researching and planning the life paths that we're going to feel those emotions on. This is where we get confused when we're planning our life paths. The beings that are rule keepers, well, we think that their job is to make sure that when we plan our life paths, that one of the life paths definitely has our purpose of life in the life path. Because of this, we think our life's purpose is the actual path that we take. We think that if we can find the right life path, and if we feel the emotions that we chose to feel, and then live a good life, that we can stop reincarnating. But here's the beings, the rule keepers, here's their actual job. Their job is to make sure that when we pick our life paths, that every thought that we could possibly have on a life path will lead us through the emotions that we chose to feel in the upcoming life. That's their real job. If you haven't noticed the reoccurring theme, it's all about emotions. If you haven't seen the videos that I've made on emotions, go check them out. They're right here. Well, if you've made it this far, now I'm going to finally tell you what the actual purpose of life is. But before I do, let's bring back the clues that I said that we had so I can show you the breakdown. If you'll remember, I was saying that when we're in the afterlife, there's a couple of things that we know. We know there's a purpose to life, and we know that the purpose of life is in our programming. Well, the purpose of life is acceptance without judgment of yourself. Now let me explain. When a baby is born, it's got a couple of programs that are programmed into it. They're inherent in it. The first program is love. which is defined as acceptance without judgment. When a baby gets here, it accepts absolutely everything as it is. It doesn't know how to judge. It won't learn until somebody shows it. The other thing a baby is programmed with is fear. Fear of loud noises and fear of falling. If you yell in a baby's face, it's going to have a reaction. It's a fight or flight reaction. It's fear. And if you drop a baby and you catch it before it hits the ground, as you drop it, it's going to have a reaction. It's a baby. It's not thinking that it should jerk its body and try to protect itself. It's just a protection mechanism. It's our base programming. Now, here's some more evidence. 9/10 of reality is based on what you believe. 1/10 of reality is objective. The other 90% of it is all about how you feel subjectively in that environment. Why is it all about you? Why are you the center of your universe? How come you can't feel anybody's emotions as deeply as you can feel yours? It's all about you and your emotions and what you feel. Your subconscious mind can't perceive anybody else, and it makes up 95% of your overall mind. Your subconscious filters your reality before it's rendered to you, and it layers on your beliefs and your programming, and it uses reality and everybody in it to mirror it back to you. The more anger that you have inside of you is the more things in your reality that you'll see to be angry at. And the more love and happiness that you have inside of you is the more love and happiness that'll be reflected back to you through your reality. And every bit of it is about your personal frequency. If you want to know more about frequency, check out the video I just made. If you want to start changing your reality, go back and watch my playlist, The Mechanics of Reality. And keep in mind, the purpose of life is acceptance without judgment of yourself as you watch those videos. And keep in mind that all of your relationships reflect you. So if you want to change your frequency, try acceptance without judgment of all of your relationships. If you want to learn more about acceptance without judgment, go to lifeequalslove.com and check out the course that I created called The Reflection Method. Or you can schedule coaching with me directly there.